if you have an understanding of where the snort rules are located and maybe some basics around how to create just some fundamental rules, you may want to expand your skills around how to create more feature-rich snort rules. So we're going to take a look at writing some additional snort rules. So I'm going to edit my snort rules, and I'm going to go into the local rules file. So I've got a handful of rules here. Now, the first one is really just a very basic, we're looking for content that says login, and we're looking for port 80 traffic, so the destination there is port 80. And what that says is we're looking for traffic that comes in on TCP. You can see that in the second word in the line, the very top line. So the source and destination are any, which means we don't really care what the source address or port are. And the destination address, we don't really care what the address is. We care that the port is 80. So that's just a very basic rule. The next one down says we're looking for UDP traffic, really any, so source and destination don't matter as long as it's UDP. And again, you can see that we've specified UDP as the second word. This is where we indicate the protocol. And the first one obviously says we're going to alert on that. Now, it gets a little bit more complicated as we go down further. Really, the one I want to spend the most time on is the last one. But to get there, let's talk about the fourth line down. What I can do is I can look for flags. Because this is TCP, we have flags in the headers. This is unlike UDP that has no flags. TCP does have flags. One of them is the SYN flag. The SYN flag is used to initiate the three-way handshake that sets up a TCP connection. So what I've said here is any source is okay with me, address and port. Any destination is okay with me, but if I've got a SYN message, meaning I've got a packet that comes in with a SYN flag set, I'm going to alert on that. And I've created the snort ID 103 there. Now, once we have done flags, we can do more interesting things. So, for example, I can alert on a SYN scan. If we look at the last line, again, source and destination don't matter to me. The message is just, I'm looking for a scan attack. Now, what I'm doing is I'm looking for the flow to be to the server and not established. So I'm looking for traffic that's coming in to the server where I am located. And not established means I haven't received any previous messages in terms of setting up a connection. Now, this is going to be sort of obvious when we see that the flags are just set to the SYN flag here, but we're going to say not established. Now, I want to look for a threshold. So the threshold indicates the number of packets that are coming in over some period of time. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to say type is threshold, and then I'm going to track by source. So I'm looking for messages that are coming in from particular source IP addresses. If I get 15 messages in 30 seconds, that's the count 15, and then seconds is 30, then we're going to alert on this. And again, we've got the flags set there. So we've got the SYN flag set. Now, what I could do is I could look for different types of scans. So in this case, what we're looking for is a SYN scan. Now, I could also do something like a XMIS scan. So I could say FPU here, so fin, push, and urge. I could also look for a fin scan. So I've got some capabilities in terms of what I'm looking for here. So again, I'm just looking for a SYN scan. Now we can use this threshold not only for SYN scans, you could also do, for example, brute force attacks. If you were looking for, let's say, for instance, we wanted to look at the destination port 22, for example. So I could go back to my any here, and I'm going to say 22, and we're going to say this is actually not a scan attack, but an SSH attack. So what we're looking at here is a large number of messages coming in on port 22 with a SYN scan, a SYN flag set rather, and that may indicate that we've got an SSH attack that's happening. So an attacker is sending out a large number of connection requests to our server in order to attempt to log in with a brute force login attack on SSH. So this is just a sample of the types of rules that you can do with snort. There are a lot of additional features and configuration settings when it comes to configuring snort rules, but using the flow and the threshold are a couple of really important ones that will give you a lot of additional capabilities in addition to just some of the basic ones that you may already know.